I'm excited to announce that I am participating in the 24-hour Cozy Christmas Readathon hosted by Kira Foster, and I'm going to link her channel down below. So I'm going to show you the books that I think that I'll be reading. I'm not sure. I haven't really been doing TBRs recently, so these are just the books that I kind of feel like reading right now. So the first book that I'm thinking that I will read is a classic, The Christmas Carol. I think I've read this twice already, but I haven't read it yet this year, so I'm really looking forward to reading it again. And then the book that I'm really excited and really do associate with Christmas is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I already started reading it earlier today, and I am excited to hopefully read a little bit more of it tonight. And I have this really cool edition that I found at a local shop. It's a hardcover edition, and it's in like a cover. And I haven't read this copy yet, so I'm excited to try this one. And then I thought, just for fun, another Christmas story that I have from my childhood is Madeline in America. I used to love these books when I was younger, so I'm really excited to kind of revisit that. So that is my plan right now. We'll see if I am not used to vlogging, so this might be a little weird. But I've had a really busy day today. My sister just graduated from college, and I'm really happy for her. So my family's been celebrating all day. So this is coming at the perfect time that I can just relax and read. Something that I did want to show you guys are these slippers that are the best slippers for me. They're Hobbit feet slippers. I'm gonna wear them while I read The Hobbit. And I'm gonna change in some cozy clothes and then start reading. Good morning. So it is the next day now, and I'm going to do a quick update on my reading. Last night I did read the Madeline in America. However, I realized that the story that I remember reading as a child was just the first story in this book, and that I've never read any of the other Christmas stories in it. So I might have to read the rest of it later. There's my dog. He likes to hide behind my curtain, if you can see him back there. And I put a dent in The Hobbit. I'm at, let's see. I am at the part where the wolves are chasing the dwarves and Bilbo and Gandalf. And I'm having a hard time reading this book because I am a big fan of the movies, and I have watched the movies so many times that I associate the story more with the movies than the book. And I hear the lines in the movie when I'm reading it instead of the book. And I just had a conversation with my family, and we were talking about how they all think that the book is better, but I think that because I have enjoyed the movies so much and I've watched them so many times, I actually prefer the movies. So that's kind of an interesting take on it. I know that that's not the popular opinion. Most people think that the book's better. The book definitely has a different tone. It comes across more like a children's story, and the movies, I think they really tried to make the story more epic and feel a little bit more like The Lord of the Rings and add a lot more complexities to the plot, but I still really like the movies. So I'm going to continue to read this, and then I think I'm going to take a break and start reading The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So that's my plan as of now. I just picked up A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and I am really enjoying it. One thing that I like to do almost every Christmas is see a play of A Christmas Carol that they put on every year by my house, and they weren't able to do it this year because of COVID. So it's really nice to experience the story and to be back there in the classic tale. I really love Charles Dickens' writing and how atmospheric it is and how he knows how to use words so well. Like the word humbug and the way that he describes Scrooge, it's just perfect. So I'm really enjoying this. I don't want to put it down, so I think I'm going to finish it pretty soon. I just read the part where the ghost of Christmas past visits Scrooge, and it reminded me that when I was in school in 6th grade, I think, we put on a play of A Christmas Carol, and I was that ghost. So when I read the lines of what that ghost is saying in response to Scrooge, I have those drilled in my mind because I remember performing that in front of my class. So that kind of brought me back to childhood Emily playing in A Christmas Carol, and I think that's the only theater experience that I really had, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to continue reading this and then check back in later. So, the readathon is now officially over, and I did not finish The Hobbit. I did get about halfway through it, though. I just read the scene where Gandalf is telling Bjorn the story about what the dwarves have been doing and their encounter with the goblins. And as he's telling the story, he's slowly introducing more and more of the dwarves. And that scene is just so funny. I actually think that I preferred the way that the scene was told in the book rather than the movie. I think as I read the book more and I kind of immersed myself in the book rather than my familiarity with the movies, the book really did grow on me. I was just talking to my brother about it because he thinks that the book is much better. And he's been reading the book as well. And he was talking about how there's more humor in the books. There's a scene where the elves kind of make a joke to Thorin about not getting wet in the water because his beard doesn't need to be any longer. And I think that the elves in the movies that Peter Jackson created are a lot more serious and austere, and you couldn't really imagine them joking like that. So I thought that was interesting. The theme that really stood out to me while I was reading it that I thought was interesting is how often Bilbo is just dreaming about the comforts of home, how frequently he thinks about that while they're on their journey and their adventure. And then I find it interesting that when you see Bilbo afterwards in the beginning of the Lord of the Rings books, he's kind of at home but immersed himself in his mind in remembering the adventures, and he has maps and he's writing his story. It's almost like he's back at home and he has those comforts, but he almost wishes he was on the adventure. I would love to know what your opinions are. If you love The Hobbit, if you've seen the movies, which one do you think is better? I love both, but I think the movies for me, I have such fond memories of every time one came out, I would go with my family to see them, and it was always around Christmas time. So somehow I associate those movies with Christmas because they were always released in December. And I think it's that emotional attachment that I have with it that makes me love the movie so much. So, yeah. So overall, I read The Christmas Carol, read some of The Hobbit, and then the Madeline Goes to America story, which was cute. Probably not the most books for a 24-hour readathon, but for me, I think it was the perfect amount. I am not a reader who is good at just sitting and reading for hours. I don't know how people do that. I think I have a short attention span because I can sit and read for 30 minutes, but then I have to get up and walk around because I get kind of antsy. So even when I'm really sucked into a book and really immersed in the story, I still have to take breaks. I have never been able to sit down and read a book all the way through. And part of me is jealous of people who can do that. I think that that is a skill. I'm going to wrap up this video now. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys are having festive, cozy reading around the holidays. And I will see you all next time. Bye!